Good morning. So last Friday, it happens every time I come home from the Bay. It's weird because a lot of you have heard me complain about the television service at the Bay. And it's really funny because the Bay, we did lose our television for about 4.5 hours on Memorial Day. But guess what? They came out and they fixed it, which was very strange, but also very good news. Here's the problem. Comcast slash Xfinity is not Resorts Communications. It is not a little marina and campground cable company. Comcast is the largest and self-proclaimed best affordable, this is all what they say about themselves, cable, internet, and phone provider in the United States of America. Now, what happened on Friday is unacceptable. And the fact that this is not the first time it has happened, even last week, because once again, I came home, and the first Tuesday I was home, I happened to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. It was hot. My husband didn't want to put the air on, whatever. I wanted to come downstairs. I turn on the TV. There's no TV. And then I'm like, oh my God. I go to my phone. There's no internet. So in my area, Comcast on Tuesday morning from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. had a complete and total failure in my area of both cable and internet and phone. Okay? On Friday, luckily for my area, for Lancaster County, we only lost our television. The internet stayed up. And luckily for my husband and I, while we were kind of coerced into getting our phone service through Comcast, my husband and I don't use our phone service through Comcast. The only people that have the number for the Comcast line are telemarketers and people we don't want to talk to. Everybody else has our cell phone numbers. We use our cell phones. Here's the thing. So on Friday, all of a sudden I'm watching TV like I always do in the afternoon, and it just goes out. There's no storms, there's no rain, nothing's going on. I don't know what the hell's happening. And they say, there's a little message on the screen going, we're having trouble with the video. It will be back momentarily. Well, momentarily turned into a half an hour. Then it turned into an hour. Then I made a phone call to the Comcast people. And guess what? They didn't answer their phone. All circuits are busy. We're experiencing a high level of calls right now. Well, you know who wasn't calling them? People whose phone service is only through Comcast, because many, many millions of American citizens couldn't use their phones, including, by the way, my veterinary clinic. The veterinary clinic that I take my dog to, they lost their phone service, as did many other people on the East Coast and many in California. Many lost their internet. All forms of communication were down. Because I had the internet, because Comcast wasn't going to tell me what the hell was going on, they never do. They just say, well, we're working on it, it'll be back as soon as possible. I was able to go online and find out that some idiot, don't even get me started on that, accidentally cut a fiber optic cable somewhere and the whole system blew up. Well, really? Why wasn't there a message when you called Comcast's phone number explaining that? That we know there's a problem. There wasn't. It just said, we can't answer your phone call right now. Boom, they hung up on me. Can't answer the call. We don't want to talk to you. They didn't want to hear the stuff people were writing online. And there were a lot of comments. You know, every time I complain about a cable TV issue or an internet issue, I get ragged on. I get hate mail. Oh, you spoiled fucking brat. Who cares? It's only television. But see, it's not. This is what the show is about. It's not TV. It's not that, oh, I couldn't finish watching my Food Network TV show I was in the middle of watching because that's going to be rerun next week. Because that's what Food Network is. It's a cable network of reruns. So I didn't miss anything. Here's what some people did miss. A veterinary clinic that has to come onto Facebook and say, you know what? We can't get phone calls right now. If you are a client of ours, if your dog is sick or you have an emergency, you've got to call Pets. You know how expensive Pets is? Not to mention the fact this is a business. They estimated that they lost $2,000 on Friday because they couldn't take phone calls. They could make phone calls. They couldn't take them. Now, what if Pets happens to be using Comcast phone service too? And they couldn't get phone calls. What if the local hospital uses Comcast phone service and they couldn't get phone calls? Here's the problem with putting all your eggs in one basket, which is what Comcast sells. We never had a phone service with Comcast. And in fact, me personally, I do not like having my phone connected to the internet. Because if the internet goes down, if the power goes out, I can't make a phone call if I have an emergency. I can't even call the power company to report that the service is out. Okay? I always love it when the power goes out and someone says, well, just go online. In fact, Comcast was even saying, go online to check outages in your area. Well, guess what, assholes? If the internet is out, how the fuck am I supposed to get online? I think that's an appropriate question. I love it when they say, report an outage, go online. There's no online. When there's no power, there's no internet. And by the way, this Comcast outage, this grand outage that stretched from the East Coast to the West Coast, it affected everything. It even took Netflix down. It took some Verizon's providers down. Luckily, my phone was still working with Verizon. My Verizon mobile hotspot was working in case I needed it to get on the internet. But some people don't have those plan Bs and those backups. And what Comcast did to my husband 2 years ago, when we switched from Comcast to Xfinity, because they were offering this great price, but here was the deal. You had to have the TV with Comcast, you had to have the internet with Comcast, and you had to have the phone with Comcast. You had to do the bundle. Now that means that Comcast controls this house. And if Comcast doesn't do something right, if some jackass somewhere cuts a line, does an oops, I have no communication in this entire house. How safe is that? And they have millions of customers that they sell this crap to. I used to come on here and rave about Comcast. I used to say, I can't believe we can't get Comcast at the Bay. That Resorts Communications is trailer park trash, and we're not trailer park trash. Our trailers cost a lot of money, goddammit. We deserve something decent. And to me, at that time, something decent was Comcast. Not anymore. Because I'm going to tell you what, since we got Xfinity, oh yeah, we got 1,000 channels. Like, we watch Telemundo and the other 60 Spanish-speaking channels that we have to pay for as part of the package. You know, again, why do we have 50, 60 Spanish-speaking channels? That's how people learn English, by the way. No wonder these immigrants come here and they don't even learn English, because they got TV channels just ready for them. They speak their language. My immigrant ancestors learned English by watching TV. Because nobody spoke their language. Nobody spoke Greek. So I got to pay for 60 Spanish-speaking channels. I got to pay for like 35 kiddie-only channels. I got to pay for 40 to 50 sports channels, which I don't watch either. That's their package. Thousands of channels, right? And I only watch about 30 of them. And during a regular week, I only watch 5 on a regular basis. 5 channels. And I'm paying for channels that go up to 1,400. Some of them are repetitive. You got the HD and the normal and all that other crap. But again, I'm paying for 1,000 channels. That's what they advertise. You've got 1,000 channels. Well, guess what? Most Saturday nights when my husband and I are sitting here in our living room, we're like, let's see if we can find something to watch on TV. Nope, nope, seen it, nope, not interested, cartoon, children's movie, nope, nope, romance, nope, Christmas movie in July, oh fuck, nope, nope. You know what, let's just put in a DVD. I mean, seriously, this is what we're paying for. They have a monopoly on our home. They control our television viewing, they control my internet, and they control our phone. And that is scary because all of a sudden, since Xfinity started, there have been serious outages. More than I can ever remember in the 30 years that I have been a Comcast customer. First it was Suburban Cable, then it was Comcast, now it's Xfinity. I used to come on here with great pride and great ego and say, my TV in Lancaster, my internet in Lancaster never goes out. Well, I can't say that anymore. I came home on Sunday, June 24th. On Tuesday, June 26th, my TV and internet were out for hours. Hours. And on Friday, June 29th, my TV was out for 5 hours. Completely unacceptable. So for those of you who say to me, you spoiled stupid bitch, you wicked witch of the West, it's not that important. I think I just explained to you why it is important. And the other reason why it's important is that while we were unable to use this service, whatever happened to you personally, and believe me, I saw people on the down reporting site going, what the fuck? They were angrier than I was. See, I was actually able to watch certain channels, including my General Hospital, so I didn't miss anything. I could watch channels 808, channels 807. I could watch the lower channels. I couldn't watch anything above 810. So I could watch the channel that was actually important to me during the time when this outage occurred. I got lucky. But there were people there that said their internet had been out for 2 days. And that their TV had been out the entire day on Friday. And yet, the clock kept ticking. The ticker keeps ticking. They are paying. And see, I am of the mindset, whether you agree with me or not, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't pay for things that I can't use. It's kind of like if I don't turn my furnace on all summer long to heat my house, I don't get a bill for the gas, for the furnace. Why the fuck should I pay the cable bill for Friday afternoon when I couldn't use the television? Why should any of you? In fact, on my list of things to do this week is to call Comcast and ask them how much credit I will be getting for the complete disaster that occurred on Friday. They owe every single customer that lost their service for more than 1 hour. I'll give them an hour for a glitch. I'll give them 1 hour. Anything over an hour, I want my money back. because I don't like paying for something I can't use. The other day I heard my husband on the phone. He has an app. I don't know what the app is, but the problem is I heard him on the phone saying, you know what? There was an upgrade to my phone and now I can't use the app. So guess what? Cancel it. I want off this app. Get me off of this because I'm not going to pay for something I can't use. And they tried to argue. He said, no, bullshit. You made me upgrade the system. Now the app doesn't work. Get it off. I'm done. Good for my husband. Good for my husband. Nobody should pay for any service you don't get or you can't use, no matter how long a period it is. For those of you who lost money through businesses that you couldn't take phone calls, your internet was down, you get on the phone with Comcast this second. The second this show's over. Watch the rest of the show. It's almost over. It's cool. But this second, get on the phone and you explain to Comcast that you lost money because of their mistake. Not an act of God, not a hurricane, not a derecho, not the end of the world, not a heat wave. You lost it because they made a mistake. And they need to make it right. And hopefully, they have learned some lessons because right now, I cannot come on this air and tell you that Comcast/Xfinity is the best television, internet, and phone provider in this country like I used to be able to say. I can't do it. Because it has been going out and tiling and not giving me what I think I deserve for what I pay for quite a while now. Actually, ever since it turned into Xfinity. So, the show's almost over. What are y'all going to do if you lost power, you lost your service, you lost your money? You're going to call Comcast right now. Give me a few minutes to do it because I don't want the phones jammed up. And you're going to ask them for a credit. They know how long your service was out. You ask them to put their money where their mouth is when they tell you they are the best company in the country to provide you with television, internet, and phone. Basically, your complete, total means of communication to the outside world. That is what's scary about Comcast. And they're asking us to put all our eggs in one basket. And when the hanger that holds that basket breaks, all the eggs break. And you might get an omelet out of it, but you're not going to get a hard-boiled egg. Political Paula's out.